Tatas.
Hello, what's up mga pans? Nandito na naman ang inyong lingkod na asay patatas. Na magbibigay sa inyo ang ongoing anime this 2021. Ano pa ang hinihintay niyo? Tara na at samahan niyo ako.
Makoto Masumi Makoto, is the main protagonist of this series. He is one of the 3 world travelers who got sent to the goddess world. Original meant to be the only person to be sent to the other world as per the contract between his parents and the goddess, but because of her own preferences in beauty standards, she abandons and throws Makoto to the edge of her world into the wasteland, while secretly kidnapping 2 other people from Earth and sending them to her world as heroes. Tsukuyumi, the moon god of Earth who worked as the middleman for the completion of the contract, helped Makoto, and provided him with his blessing, and told him to be free, and live as he wants to. In the goddess world, he is also known by the alias rated Kuzunoha, in WN/LN, or Makoto Kuzunoha, in manga, a powerful merchant, and skilled teacher.
In a magical world where humans, demi-humans, and ONI are heavily at odds with each other, a princess named Sultaran Sally Aldyke is on a journey to find a person named Makoto Kibitsu. Traversing the world, Sally comes across many truths that she had been ignorant of due to her lineage, including the knowledge that the ONI possess power potent enough to wipe out humanity. Seemingly blessed with a way to counter the ONI's might, Sally has a strange power that manifests itself as a sigil resembling a peach, giving her superhuman abilities capable of defeating powerful ONI with ease. Even so, Sally refuses to discriminate between humans, demi-humans, and ONI as much as possible, believing that peace between the 3 factions could be attainable one day. On the contrary, Makoto, who also has the same ability as Sally's, but with greater mastery, has a different goal. Makoto is out to kill and torment all ONI in existence, stopping at nothing to fulfill this objective. As Sally and Makoto continue to cross paths, the power they possess will spell the difference between amicable coexistence and utter annihilation. Peach Boy Riverside integrates some elements from the Japanese folktale Momotaru, a famous story about a man who was born from a peach floating on a river who grows up to be the savior of his hometown after defeating demons called ONI. In the year 2041, World War III has wiped out 2/3 of the human population, and in the newfound structure, the belief in any god or beyond human entity is considered a preposterous notion. In order to prevent citizens from bearing possibly incriminating thoughts, the government has assembled a special weapon enforcement division to capture and rehabilitate such believers. The Kurihara brothers, Naoya and Naoto, who were hidden away from society by their captors for years to conceal their psychic abilities, were promised freedom once the world was ready to face their existence. Now, wandering in the appalling new societal climate where psychics are not welcome, the brothers find themselves on the run from the enforcement's devoted operatives, Yuya and Takuya Kuroki. Solar calendar year 2020, grotesque organisms called others have begun eating people. To take down this new enemy, the other suppression force is formed. Saved by this elite team as a child, psychokinetic Yuta withstands the training to enlist. On the other hand, prodigy Kasane was scouted for her abilities. But Kasane's dreams tell her strange things, dragging the two into an unavoidable fate. In a far distant future, a psionic hormone was discovered in the human brain, granting people extrasensory powers and changing the world as we know it. Just as humanity was entering this new era, deranged mutants known as others began to descend from the sky with a thirst for human brains. Highly resistant to conventional attack methods, extreme measures needed to be taken to battle the overwhelming threat and preserve humanity. Those with acute extrasensory abilities, known as psionics, were our chance to fight the onslaught from above. To this day, psionics have been scouted for their talents and recruited to the other suppression force, OSF, humanity's last line of defense. Take on the role of Yuto Sumareiji, a new recruit to the OSF aiming to become an elite psionic like the one who saved him as a child. Armed with a talent in psychokinesis, explore futuristic new Himuka and uncover the mysteries of a brain-punk future caught between technology and psychic abilities in Scarlet Nexus. 37-year-old Satoru Mikami is a typical corporate worker who is perfectly content with his monotonous lifestyle in Tokyo, other than failing to nail down a girlfriend even once throughout his life. In the midst of a casual encounter with his colleague, he falls victim to a random assailant on the streets and is stabbed. However, while succumbing to his injuries, a peculiar voice echoes in his mind and recites a bunch of commands which the dying man cannot make sense of. When Satoru regains consciousness, he discovers that he has reincarnated as a goop of slime in an unfamiliar realm. In doing so, he acquires newfound skills, notably the power to devour anything and mimic its appearance and abilities. He then stumbles upon the sealed catastrophe-level monster storm dragon Veldora, who had been sealed away for the past 300 years for devastating a town to ashes. Sympathetic to his predicament, Satoru befriends him, promising to assist in destroying the seal. In return, Veldora bestows upon him the name Rimuru Tempest to grant him divine protection. Now, liberated from the mundanities of his past life, Rimuru embarks on a fresh journey with a distinct goal in mind. As he grows accustomed to his new physique, his gooey antics ripple throughout the world, gradually altering his fate. It was just a usual morning. Akira Shiroyanagi, a high schooler who loves games and Konpito, Japanese sweets, has suddenly been dragged into a battlefield by a mysterious girl who calls herself Mayan. The participants are told that they are erased from the family register, involved in an experiment, and gain certain powers. Akira is determined to win the game with his newfound powers and destroy the organization. Armed with a power no one expects and his brain skills, the new period of intelligence battle begins. Kimihiko Kimizuka has found himself inadvertently entangled in various crimes more times than he can remember, referring to himself as a magnet for trouble. One day, as if it was nothing out of the ordinary, a group of unknown men kidnaps him, forcing him to board a flight where he also encounters a hijacking. Amid the resulting chaos, however, Kimizuka meets a stunning silver-haired beauty, going by the codename Siesta, who then saves the day. Claiming to be a legendary detective, Siesta enlists Kimizuka to be her sidekick. Though Kimizuka refuses at first, with Siesta's insistence, he eventually joins her, marking the start of a grand adventure spanning the entire world, preventing multiple threats that could spell doom for humanity along the way. Unfortunately, after 3 years of their unpredictable yet enjoyable time together, Siesta abruptly passes away. Distraught, Kimizuka tries to leave all memories of her behind, but as he begins to meet more people, it seems that Siesta's influence will never truly die. Opening with a teenage Boruto Uzumaki facing a foe named Kawaki during the destruction of his village, the manga follows with a retelling of events in Boruto, Naruto the movie with added content. 2. Being the son of the 7th Hokage Naruto Uzumaki, Boruto feels angry over his father placing the village before his family. At that time, Boruto has become a member of a ninja team led by Naruto's protege Konohamaru Sarutobi, along with Sarada Uchiha, the daughter of Sasuke, and Sakura Uchiha, and Mitsuki, Orochimaru's artificial son. When Sasuke returns to the village to warn Naruto of an impending threat relating to deducing the motivations of Kagaya Otsutsuki, Boruto persuades Sasuke to train him for the upcoming Chunin exam to impress his father. During the exam, Momoshiki Otsutsuki and Kinshiki Otsutsuki, the threat of whom Sasuke spoke, appear and abduct Naruto, so they can use Kurama, a tailed beast sealed inside his body, to revitalize the dying divine tree from the dimension they came from. Boruto joins Sasuke and the 4 Kages, the leaders of other ninja villages, to rescue Naruto. The battle ends when Momoshiki, sacrificing Kinshiki to increase his own strength, is defeated by Boruto and his father with Sasuke's help. Momoshiki survives long enough to realize Boruto's full potential while warning him of future tribulations. After recovering from his fight, Boruto decides to become like Sasuke in the future while entrusting Sarada to follow her dream of becoming the next Hokage. In his next mission, Boruto serves as a bodyguard for the fire daimyo's son Tento, with the two finding kinship and both wanting to be acknowledged by their fathers. When a group of bandits known as the Mujina kidnaps Tento, Boruto saves him with the group's leader incarcerated due to having knowledge on the mark that Momoshiki placed on Boruto. Naruto and the other learn there is a group called Kara, lit. The Husk, searching for people with the marks called Karma. Boruto's team meets Kara's fugitive Kawaki, a boy who also has Karma. Kawaki becomes an adopted member of the Uzumaki family to protect him. However, when trying to protect Kawaki, Naruto and Sasuke are defeated by the leader of Kara, Jigen, who seals Naruto away while Sasuke escapes. Team 7 saves Naruto when Boruto's karma causes him to be possessed by Momoshiki. After learning of this, Sasuke discovers all karma users will be taken over by the Otsutsuki clan, including Jigen. Meanwhile, a mutiny starts to form in Kara, with Koji Kashin challenging Jigen while Amato goes to Konoha to seek asylum in exchange for information, revealing that the real leader of Kara is actually Ashiki Otsutsuki, who has been possessing Jigen ever since he was betrayed by Kaguya when they came to Earth millennia ago, and that karma allows the Otsutsuki clan to resurrect via the host's body. Although Koji kills Jigen, forcing Ishiki to reincarnate imperfectly while Kawaki's karma is removed in the process, Ishiki forces Koji to retreat and leaves to attack Konoha. As Ishiki arrives at Konoha, he searches for Kawaki. Naruto faces him head-on, preparing to fight. Boruto transports himself and Ishiki to another place away from the village with Sasuke and Naruto following. Since Boruto is Momoshiki's vessel, Ishiki plans to feed him to his 10 tails in order to plant a divine tree. With Naruto's new power, the Baryon mode, he defeats Ishiki before Kawaki tricks him, causing Ishiki to die, but at the cost of Kurama's life. Boruto, possessed by Momoshiki, destroys Sasuke's Rinnegan. However, Sasuke and Kawaki face Momoshiki until Boruto recovers his body. After being defeated, Ishiki requests Code, who is guarding the 10 tails, to carry on the Otsutsuki will by sacrificing either Boruto or Kawaki to the 10 tails, then eat the chakra fruit, and become Otsutsuki himself. Code vows to avenge Ishiki by going after Naruto, Sasuke, Kawaki, and Boruto. He visits Burrow's hideout and effortlessly destroys his guards. He then proceeds to release one of the strongest cyborgs created by Amato that was supposed to have been disposed of. The cyborg Ida agrees help Code kill the Hokage if he in turn spares Kawaki's life for her to have a normal romance with because her powers of seduction hinders her from experiencing proper love. Since her powers don't work on Otsutsuki and Kawaki and Boruto are already part Otsutsuki, she can experience it with them. Code agrees to spare Kawaki and use Boruto as the sacrifice to cultivate the chakra fruit after he kills Naruto with the help of Ida.
Kazuya Soma, Soma Kazuya, Soma Kazuya, Suma Kazuya.
Voiced by Yusuke Kobayashi, 3, Japanese, Alejandro Saab, 4, English. Summoned to another world to reportedly deal with the threat of the Demon Lord's domain, Kazuya instead finds himself with the throne of the kingdom of Elfrieden and the hand of Licia Elfrieden thrown at him. Now king, Kazuya begins radical reforms in order to improve the standard of living in the kingdom. In the 1 week war, Kazuya finds himself in a civil war between himself and Dukes George Carmine and Castor Vargas, while also having to fight the Principality of Amadonia. Through a series of military strategies, Kazuya emerges victorious and annexes Amadonia, although this was entirely unplanned on his part, to create the unified kingdom of Elfrieden and Amadonia, otherwise known as the Kingdom of Fredonia. He then forges a secret alliance with Empress Maria Euphoria of the Grand Chaos Empire. After the death of his grandfather, 19-year-old Kazuya Soma, an aspiring civil servant, is left all alone with no one to call family. Out of the blue, he is transported to the Elfrieden Kingdom, a small ailing country in another world, to be a hero. An ongoing war with the demon army has put the entire world in peril, and Kazuya was summoned to aid in the conflict as an offering from Elfrieden to its allies. Dissatisfied with being used as tribute, Kazuya decides to help the kingdom revamp its declining economy not by way of adventuring or war, but through administrative reform. Abruptly declared the king of Elfrieden and betrothed to the princess, the realist hero Kazuya sets out to assemble a group of talented citizens who will assist him in his bureaucratic battles to get the kingdom back on its feet.
Nagustuhan niyo ba ang list na ito? Meron ba akong hindi nabanggit sa list? Comment mo na lang dyan sa baba tapos pag-usapan natin. Huwag niyong kalimutang ma-subscribe para updated kayo sa susunod na content. Salamat paalam.
Tate, kuya.